want to welcome everyone to the first official HackingHollywood.tv Periscope / Twitter live stream. I'm not even sure if it's Periscope and or Twitter, or if it's Twitter live and Periscope. I'm not sure how it's all going down now. I know I downloaded the Periscope app on my phone, and I know I have a Twitter account. I'm not sure if the Periscope notifies the Twitter or how it's working, or if they're just going to merge together and be one beautiful platform. I love, speaking of live streaming, I was actually just reading an article recently by a fellow Periscoper that she was saying that, you know, sure, there are ways you can syndicate one video feed to multiple platforms at the same time, but it kind of takes away from the beauty and the power of each specific platform. Each platform has its own unique way to engage with an audience. So sure, you could just make one video feed and then send that to all your social channels at the same time, and that's not a bad idea, but then it kind of maybe loses a little bit of momentum with each specific platform. So I'm actually testing this out right now. This is a beta test. This is a HackingHollywood.tv beta test. I'm so glad you guys are here. So check it out. This is the new graphic we just designed for the platform. It's HackingHollywood.tv, and this is, I think what inspired this design for me personally was that it's an audience. It's a group of people coming together to watch a film. And that's truly what films are about. It's about creating community. It's about telling stories, about sharing stories, and then coming together and watching those stories together. I mean, sure, we can watch films on our mobile devices, and most people do now, but it is a great thing that you can still come together in a movie theater and watch a movie. So I love the idea of movies bringing people together, not only through the story that they're telling, but by just the act of like showing up at the movie theater and watching a movie. But even if you don't go to a movie theater and you just watch a film on your phone with a friend, that's beautiful too. It's beautiful. So this is the HackingHollywood.tv logo that we just designed, and I want to introduce myself and the platform. I'm Chai Forrest. I'm the founder of HackingHollywood.tv. This platform came about because I saw a need within the independent film community, within the documentary film community, within the space of creative artists needing to tell their stories and be able to share their stories with a worldwide audience. And even today, with the fact that you can put up a film, you can get your movie on iTunes, but that does not mean that an audience is going to find or discover your film. You still have to do a massive amount of marketing and social engagement to draw an audience to your project. Just by default, just by putting your film up on iTunes, does not guarantee that you're going to get a huge audience, because no one's specifically looking for your film. And iTunes doesn't just take every new movie that's submitted and put it on the front page. They have priority placement deals with huge distributors that pretty much buy those slots. So there's the likelihood of an indie filmmaker bumping out a huge studio and getting the front spot on the iTunes page is highly unlikely. So as a community, it's important that we utilize all of our resources together, which is combining social media, which is doing live streaming, which is really using the technology that we have today to leverage the next generation of filmmakers. When I say the next generation of filmmakers, what I mean is Hollywood 3.0. The revolution's going to be live streamed. It's going to be live streamed on hackinghollywood.tv, if I have anything to do with it. And I love the idea of inclusion. So we're including the filmmaker's experience, we're including the audience to be invited on that journey that the filmmaker goes on. That's fundamental, because there's always this separation in Hollywood. It's always this secret film that's being shot and made, and the scripts are secret and no one knows anything about it. Then all of a sudden, a trailer's leaked, and there's all this secrecy about films that happen, and it just doesn't need to be that way. I think it should be the opposite. It should be that the filmmaker invites the audience to be part of their entire journey while they're producing the film, when they're in post-production, when they're casting the film, all the way to the red carpet. That's fundamental to the success of sustainable independent filmmaking careers. So that's actually that whole concept of creating sustainable filmmaker careers that are rewarding professionally, creatively, and financially. That is baked into the DNA of the hackinghollywood.tv platform. That concept that it's about the long term. It's not just a one-off success film and you take the money and run. This is about creating a relationship with the audience in a way that was never even possible before. I mean, even a couple months ago, we didn't have the live streaming capabilities that we have now. We now can communicate worldwide, live stream in real time. We can follow filmmakers on location as they're going through their journey of producing a film or a documentary. That to me is worth the price of admission. I pay $20 in a second to be able to not only see the film, but to be able to take a journey with that filmmaker as they're making the film. That's incredible. And that wasn't available even a couple months ago. So this is the idea behind hackinghollywood.tv as a platform. It's a true filmmaker to audience engagement platform. It's an engagement experience. We're creating an experience, not just a one-way give and take. This is where the filmmaker is sharing their intimate experience, what they're going through, their ups, their downs, their failures, their mistakes, their successes, with a live audience. And the audience can contribute and support the filmmaker as they're on this journey. And it's not just this one film, it's the next 10 films that the filmmaker makes. So that's a beautiful thing, to know that this technology is not just about a flash in the pan. This technology is about the next 10, 20, 50, 200 years. It's going to be Hollywood 10.0 by the time, it's just going to keep going and going. It's never going to stop, because humanity always needs creativity. Humanity always needs the arts. Humanity always needs the stories that drive us forward, stories of inspiration, stories of heartbreak, stories of drama, stories of wisdom. That will always carry over. No matter where we're at politically, economically, we're always going to need to be able to connect on a human level. And that's what films do. That's what the film's purpose is in our life. I mean, you could say, when it comes down to just bare survival, what are the things you would need or not need if it came down to that? Food, water, shelter. But, the arts, creativity, filmmaking, I would argue that that should be part of our survival as human beings. We need that nourishment, that creative nourishment, because it's knowledge that's passed down, it's creativity, it's inspiration, it's a legacy. There's so much that's transferred, and it used to be books. It used to be that the stories were told through books. It used to be that stories were told on a cave wall drawn with charcoal, and then it was told over a fireplace, and then it was books. Then now it's movies. Now it's digital. Now it's mobile pocket movie theaters. That's just the evolution, but the core idea of the story, of connecting one-on-one with other human beings, coming together around a campfire, around the movie theater, the audience. That has not changed. And as technology develops and grows and expands and contracts, we're going to just go with that natural ebb and flow. But it's important to realize and for me to understand that filmmaking isn't a privilege, it's a necessity. And if I have anything to do about it, if this platform has anything to do about it, I want to back up that necessity financially, creatively, and professionally. The professional aspect of filmmaking to me is that it's giving, it's dignity. It's saying, you know, it's not just a dream to be a filmmaker. It's not like, oh, you have to work a bunch of shitty day jobs to fund your dream to be a filmmaker. No, it should be funded. If you have a story to tell, if you're passionate about filmmaking, you should be well funded. You should be able to do this for a career, and there's a global community that's going to support you. That's the idea behind HackingHollywood.tv. You don't have to wait for a studio to approve you. There's a community, there's an audience that's approving you. And if you have the ambition, if you have the creative drive, then you're going to get the support that you need. It's not a matter of like who's going to decide if you're good enough. You're good enough if you try. You're good enough if you want to do it. If you put the effort into it, that's all it takes, and that's all that it matters for me personally. If it's not a matter, you know, there's this thing in LA where every Uber driver, every waiter is an actor or a director, or they have a script under their seat. You know what? I would never be dismissive of that. I would never assume anything. If someone actually told me that, hey, you know, I have a script under my seat and I was in an Uber, I would say, that's amazing. It's so hard to write 90 pages of dialogue. I would love to read your script. I certainly would not say, well, everyone's a screenwriter, you know, whatever, good luck. I mean, that's kind of the response a lot of people get. I mean, even me as a filmmaker, when I, you know, would introduce myself and it was like, yeah, I'm a filmmaker. No one was like, oh, what film did you make? What film are you working on? What are you doing now? It was just like, yeah, whatever. It's like dismissive, like assuming, you know. But I would never take anyone for granted. If you actually have what it takes and actually put the effort in to make a film, to write a script, to put the, you know, the work in, then you get 100% of my respect. It doesn't matter about the specifics of the story, because it's not about the story. It's about you as a passionate individual, as a human being, creatively contributing to human society. That's what it's about. That's what Hacking Hollywood as a platform is supporting. All right, guys, this was my first Periscope live stream, Los Angeles. It's rainy out, beautiful early morning. I love you guys. You're awesome. I will talk to you soon. And that's a cut. And cut. How do I turn off? Swipe down to stop. All right, see you guys later. Cut.